Slips and falls are all too common in icy weather. Almost got me. Here's how to keep your stairs slip-free this winter. The forecast is predicting freezing temperatures. Here's a preventative measure you can take the day before. You can buy chemical deicer at the store, but I'm gonna show you how to make your own. Start with 1 part warm water and add 2 parts alcohol. To this, add a little bit of dish soap. And that is all you need. Spray a liberal amount on your steps to keep ice from forming. This also works great if any ice has built up already. For extra traction on icy surfaces, you can spread sand or kitty litter. Icy windshields are a common winter hassle. There's a simple DIY solution to de-icing your windshield. To 1 part water, add 2 parts isopropyl alcohol. Now just add a few drops of dish soap. Couldn't be easier, and this is stuff you probably already have in a cabinet. Spray this on an icy windshield to help it melt away fast. You can also apply this the night before to keep ice from building up. Another homemade deicer is just white distilled vinegar diluted with water. Another great solution is a cover to keep your windshield clear. Just make sure to take this off before you hit the road. Instead of fighting with a solid slab of ice, use this solution to melt ice quickly. This one's frozen solid. This one is breaking right apart. Winter is coming. Here are some items to have in your car to be safe and prepared. A good place to start is with tools and an emergency roadside kit. That way you have what you need for minor maintenance and repairs. You should also keep snacks and spare water there to keep you hydrated and nourished. Pack items to stay warm. Emergency blankets are great. They're small and lightweight. That way, if the temperatures drop, you have what you need. As winter temperatures fluctuate, keep an eye on your tire pressure. I also like to keep cables or chains, so you're always ready for any winter road conditions. An ice scraper and small shovel can really come in handy. And I like to throw in a sturdy pair of gloves. Keep your phone charged in your car or bring a charged backup battery. And you can find some with built-in solar power. And another essential is a flashlight. And before you hit any winter roads, know your routes and check weather conditions. Freezing temperatures can lead to bursting pipes, which is a costly fix. One easy thing you can do is just open cabinets around faucets to help regulate temperatures. You can also set a drip on your faucet. This doesn't have to be for every faucet, and it's only for temperatures of extreme lows. The energy of the running water will help the pipes from freezing. You'll want to keep all your interior doors open to keep an even temperature throughout your house. If you're away from the house, especially for long periods, don't let the temperature drop below 55. And many water supply lines flow through your garage. So close the door to keep all your pipes warm and cozy.
Just because your car isn't fancy enough to have built-in seat warmers doesn't mean you can't have a warm booty. Just grab affordable plug-in seat warmers and you're good to go. It may be aftermarket and budget friendly, but I don't think it looks too shabby. And if you don't have a heated steering wheel, another cozy little aftermarket gem is a plug-in heated steering wheel cover. But obviously, it does have its limitations. See, this cord hanging off when you turn, getting tangled. And if you need a cozy, quick hit of heat, you can throw some disposable hand warmers in your center console, or even better, just get a rechargeable hand warmer. Boom. And if you have the room in your car or SUV, it's a great idea to stash a couple wool blankets in there because wool is one of the warmest fabrics you can find, and it's super cozy. Another really handy find if your car doesn't have heat at all, or if the heat's just not packing enough punch for you, is a portable dashboard car heater that plugs in. This particular budget-friendly heater is great because it has strategically placed vents that go toward your windshield to defrost and the rest of your car to heat it up.
A little bit of humidity in a small room can make a big difference. Even though the humidifier is not adding heat directly, it'll help you feel warmer. As a bonus, humidity is also great for your skin and sinuses. Humidifiers aren't just for when you're feeling under the weather. You can use them for a little boost of comfort. Even though you can't always see it, you will be able to feel it. Traveling on winter roads means being prepared for ice and snow. Here's how to put chains on your tires. Traditional chains are more durable and made for regular use. Cables like these serve the same purpose. They're going to be lighter weight and easier to use. When you're purchasing chains, be sure you're getting the right size for your vehicle. Chain and cable type installation is going to vary by manufacturer, so review the instructions. Be prepared with gloves and a small waterproof tarp for your knees. For rear-wheel drive vehicles, you'll want to put the chains on the back tires. For front and four-wheel drive vehicles, the chains are going to go on the front. For these cables, the first step is to drape them over the tire. Front of the cables gets tucked underneath the tire. I'm going to move forward about a foot. Secure the inside of the cable first. Now tightly secure the outside. And for these, I just need to lock them into place. Only drive on chains in conditions where they're needed. Some cables require additional fasteners, so again, be familiar with your instructions. It's a good idea to practice putting on chains before you go to an area they may be needed. Cables and chains will give you that extra traction for steering and braking in icy conditions.
The most basic step in keeping yourself warm and cozy in the cold is obviously learning how to properly layer. So let me show you. Whoa, that was fast. Let's break it down. You're gonna start with tight-fitting base layers made of synthetic materials like wool or polyester. That'll help trap the heat and prevent sweating, which makes you colder. Pro cold climate tip, my leggings are fleece lined. On top of your base layer, you can add a super warm and cozy sweatshirt, sweater, or vest. That'll trap that heat in, keep you nice and snug. And always, always, always keep your head covered. The blood vessels in your head are closer to the surface of your skin than the rest of your body, so you're more likely to lose heat in your noggin. And don't forget some thick wool socks to keep your feet dry and subsequently warm. Bonus on the Toasty Tootsies front, shearling lined shoes. And your goal with all this layering is just to cover as much skin as possible. Bye-bye. And whether it's sweat from the inside, water from the outside, just remember that staying dry is the key to keeping warm. And if you're going out and you're just using a small scarf around your neck, you're definitely doing it wrong. What you want is a big scarf like this one that you can wear over your shoulders and under your coat for an extra layer of warmth. You can put it over your legs as a blanket to keep those leggies warm, or you can use your breath as a nice little heater and cover your nose and mouth to stay toasty.
Let the light in on sunny days to naturally heat your house for free. This will bring up the ambient temperature of objects around your house. Thank you, sun. But at night, keep them closed. This will insulate your home. Having window coverings closed at night will keep that warmth in and all that cold out there. Lighting with a warm color temperature is gonna make you feel calm and cozy. But if you live somewhere that doesn't get a lot of sunlight, try switching to daylight bulbs. These mimic natural sunlight, which is mood boosting and can help you be more productive. Your dryer can be your best friend when it comes to staying warm. Before you head out, just heat up a jacket or long sleeve shirt. A few minutes in the dryer is all you need for an extra bit of toastiness. This also works great for things like socks, gloves, and hats. I mean, who doesn't love warm laundry? This even works with shoes. Just tie the laces and hang them on the door. That'll keep them from clanking around. Just make sure to clean off your shoes before putting them in. This also works for damp shoes to dry them out. Just like that, warm and dry.
One of the most important ways you can keep your house warm and cozy in the winter is making sure that you keep your bedding on point. The first tip is all about the layers, so make sure that you have a soft, fluffy duvet or down insert on the bottom, and then a thin but heavier blanket on top to trap your body heat in and make it nice and cozy and warm underneath. Lay as many cozy rugs as you can down on your floors to make sure that your floors aren't chilly to the touch. If you really want to power up the warmth in your bed, like the pros up north, you gotta do an electric blanket. Important electric blanket safety tip, just keep it nice and warm instead of blazing hot so you don't get into trouble. And if you're not ready to go full electric blanket, you can get a smaller heating pad that has a timer and everything and put it wherever you need it. When you're cooking in the colder months, use your stovetop and your oven to cook as much as possible, including reheating stuff, and it'll heat up your kitchen right away and whatever room is bordering it. Another easy way to warm up your kitchen and an adjoining room is to leave the oven door open right after you bake something for just a couple minutes, but make sure, safety first, you keep your eye on it and only leave it open until it warms up the room, which is just a couple of minutes. Another super easy way to keep your house warm and cozy when it's cold outside is to close doors from unoccupied rooms to block drafts and prevent heat loss from the rooms you're hanging out in.
When the temperatures drop outside, you should know how to build a fire. To start, you'll need a clear, dry area. Lay down 2 large fuel logs. Layer 2 more perpendicular logs. These logs will be the longest burning fuel for your fire. In the center, lay in some kindling, leaving room for airflow. Kindling is smaller pieces of wood to help build your fire. Add in some tinder with the kindling. Add another layer of smaller fuel logs right on top. Finish off with a little more tinder on top. For a safe fire, you want an enclosed space like a fire pit or a fire ring. If you start a fire, you should be the one to put it out. To do it safely, douse with water and smother until those embers are no longer warm to the touch. Driving in winter can mean road delays and backups. Here's what to do if you're stuck during a winter storm. The most important thing is try to keep a full gas tank. Fuel up frequently and try not to drop below a half tank. If you are stopped, make sure it's somewhere safe and visible. Keep an extra supply of water and snacks inside your vehicle. If you are stopped for long periods of time, only run your engine about 10 minutes every hour. While the car is running, you can charge your phone, but a portable battery is a great backup. You can use this time to briefly crack a window and ventilate the car. If temperatures really get low, reach for hats, jackets, gloves, even an emergency blanket can really help. If you are stopped in heavy snow, make sure your tailpipe stays clear. Just remember, stay in your vehicle, stay warm, and stay safe. Here's some helpful items to have on hand in the event of a power outage. A great place to start is to check your camping supplies. Things like propane burners for cooking, sleeping bags, or emergency blankets. It's helpful to have a charged battery bank on hand. I like this one with a solar panel. It'll stay charged as long as there's sunlight. That way, even when the power's out, you still have power. Of course, larger solar panel systems or generators can power your entire house. During the winter, it's important to keep a well-stocked pantry of non-perishable foods. And yep, plenty of water. Looks like I need to restock. And in severe conditions, you can fill a bathtub up for access to extra water.
We all know the battle for the office thermostat rages on. If your office allows for it, and if you can follow safety protocols, a tiny little space heater is a great way to get some extra warmth. A big part of staying warm and cozy is keeping your hands and your feet covered, and some fingerless gloves can go a long way in keeping your hands warm, but still allowing you to type. But if fingerless gloves aren't your jam, you can try some disposable hand warmers that you can just stash in your desk, or the more eco-friendly option, a rechargeable hand warmer. And obviously, you can always try draping a wool blanket over your shoulders or your lap. Wool's great at insulating and retaining that heat from your body. And if there ain't no shame in your blanket game, you can always go with an electric one. But if the whole blanket office situation is too much for you, you can always go with the more discreet option, which is a heating pad on your chair. Another great way to stay warm that may not seem obvious when it's cold is to stay hydrated. Water is great at retaining heat, so it'll keep your body warm from the inside out. But it's not just water that can keep you warm. If you keep a hot beverage in an insulated mug, it can warm you up from the inside out for hours. One thing that may seem obvious, but a lot of people forget about when they're at the office, is that you can stay warm simply by moving your body. I like to set a timer on my phone for every hour to remind myself to get up and move.
Ceiling fans are definitely helpful to keep you cool in summer, but they're also a key solution in winter to stay warm. The main purpose of a fan is to circulate air around a room, and this applies all year round. But there's one thing you need to check first. In the summer, ceiling fans should rotate counterclockwise. But when you're feeling cold, set them to rotate clockwise. It's as easy as flipping a switch. It should be right on top. And if you have a smart fan, it may be as easy as a button on a remote. Because hot air rises, it tends to settle near your ceiling. That clockwise motion is going to push warm air back down into the room. That'll help regulate temperatures in your room and make heating your home more efficient. Here's how to turn a sock into a warming compress. The only thing else you need is dry rice. I'm just going to fill this cup up with rice. To fill the sock, I'm just going to put the end around the cup. Here's the fun part. I'm going to tie a knot at the base of the rice. For a more permanent solution, you can also sew it shut. Microwave for 2 minutes to get it hot. Because there's no moisture, you're not cooking the rice, you're just warming it up. There it is, nice and toasty. Just be a little careful, it can be hot. That radiant heat is so cozy on a cold day. As long as this doesn't get wet, you can keep using it again and again.
And a pro tip, you can add essential oils to your rice before you pour it into your sock, and that'll give you a nice, cozy, warm, fragrant heating pad to take with you wherever you go.
For another version, you just need some small towels and a plastic bag. First, get those towels wet. Wring out the extra water, place them in a heat-proof bowl, and put them in the microwave for 2 minutes. Just be careful with that bowl, it might be hot. Your hot towels go into a plastic bag, and just seal that up. Now, you have your own personal radiator. For extra comfort, you can toss this in a pillowcase or wrap it in a towel. These are great to warm your feet and to keep with you under a blanket. Now that's cozy.
One kind of cool, super easy way to warm up a small space in your house, like my backyard office, is a DIY radiant space heater, and I'm gonna show you how to make it. So you're just gonna take a terracotta pot, a couple of bricks or pavers, an old piece of scrap tile or whatever you have laying around, a couple of saucers, and tea lights. So arrange your tea lights in your saucers on top of the tile, and then you're just gonna take your terracotta pot and put it on top of your bricks over your tea lights, and then another saucer that fits snugly on the top of your pot. And you're gonna light those babies. It does get hot to the touch, so keep little fingers and big fingers off of it, and make sure it's elevated off of whatever surface you have it on top of so it's safe. Okay, it's been under 10 minutes, and the temp is already up to 180, and I can feel the heat radiating. So I'd say this is an awesome way to heat up a small space, especially in a time of emergency.